Alright. Looks like
There
we're
we
at.
go.
It's me, Mario.
It
A
should be a
legendary
very
match.
exciting race. Honestly.
Butterlord versus Copitz. Who's gonna take it? Who's
It's
your
gonna
money
be
on
pretty
this?
exciting. Sure.
Mario, please come to the
And now that we're in the bracket stages, the races are gonna be a lot more
Success Toadstool. Peach.
they're gonna be a lot more interesting, for sure.
I'd like to see who you guys are rooting for in the chat.
We got a PogChamp for this race, yo. Alright. Now they're gonna be off. Right. Who gets like he just skipped, which is the tripper. Basically, the parts on the left and right side of the bridge, for whatever reason, don't take the cutscene into account. You'll jump off the edges of them, and you can skip the like Hydra cutscene that normally takes around 8 seconds. So we'll see how each of them decide to attack. This looks like they're kind of going at it the same way. So the runners got it.
They both got it. Straight in. Wow, the support for Copitz in the chat is real.
I'm not looking at the
I have to root for my boy Butterlord.
So I'll root for Copitz then, I don't know. Anyways, so now they're going to be attempting Bomb Clip. Because Bob-Bombs were the only objects in this game that retain their tangibility when Mario grabs them, you can use its properties when it's loaded. You can use its hitbox to kind of push Mario backwards, and you can use it to go through the chain jump skate like you just saw both of them do there. After every star, you're noticing that they're scrolling down to options and hitting continue, don't save. Optimization you do throughout the run, because hitting save and continue adds lag frames. Alright, so it looks like Butter's doing one. Yeah, he's
Going
doing
for the
slide star
the
first.
1 second time save, I believe.
Yeah, I'd say because of the cast move, it actually saves 1 second to do a star from the Princess's Secret slide before going to Womps.
Which is more optimal to do in a race if you think about it.
Yeah, it's better to do in a race. Right.
The reason you wouldn't do it in runs is because you would have to do the slide before once, where a
I
lot
do
of
it in
resets
one
happen.
because, I mean, why not lose the 1 per second? It's got cannonless. For that star, it's normally in the wall. You normally need the cannon to blow it up, but there's a tiny slit in there because Nintendo's so good at making games. They didn't make the geometry of that area perfectly well. And so it's possible to ledge grab on that slit in the wall, and that setup just allows you to be in the right spot in order to always be able to grab the star. It's been like at least a pound at this point.
Oh no, that's rough.
That is such an easy mistake to make.
Yeah, if you miss the fence, and then
Alright, so looks like
They couldn't
Copitz
get
gets
Alice.
half cycle.
oh no, Butterlord, please.
Alice is definitely one of the... It looks so easy to do it, but it truly is the devil in disguise.
And finally gets it, third try.
I don't know. I don't remember. I saw Copitz practicing Alice earlier, but I don't know if he's going to go for it. I guess we'll see what happens. Now, I think... Cannonless? Probably. Yeah, it looks like it. Anyway, so Copitz just finished Womp Hundo. Went.
How PG is this? Should we keep this commentary?
Keep it pretty PG.
Okay.
I don't think it matters if you swear every now and then. Just try to do it constantly.
I was just going to refer to Copitz. If he doesn't go for Owless, he's yeah.
He's a female. Are you gonna reference the female dog?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Kind of like the one that Shy's posted in the chat. Oh, that's
Hi,
a
dog.
wolf.
Hi, dog.
Close enough.
I always thought it was interesting. This is the only 3D Mario game where there's more than one way to enter the double jump state. Do it by falling off a ledge. You can also do it out of a side flip or even a jump kick. And not even in the DS version can you do anything like that. Just did the Womp King, and Butter just did Cannonless.
Yeah, Copitz has got some pretty good movement. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't think he was this good, actually. No offense, but...
Well, I mean, we also have to keep consistency in mind, because, I mean, in a race scenario like this, whoever's more consistent is going to win. Looks like Copitz is pretty consistent. Got the same mistake. Movement errors in SM64 are definitely not... They're not uncommon. Like, so easy to just mess up one input and there goes like 11 seconds or something. I shows 11. Alright. I think Butter's also a little rusty because he's been doing a lot of Paper Mario recently. I believe Copitz is going to be using Owl. And choice to make, even if you're a pretty top tier runner, just because Alice only really saves 5 seconds over using the Owl. This is definitely a better solution if you're gonna go in a race. So, Butter having a little bit of trouble with this moving platform here. Now, Copitz is gonna have to deal with the 1 second deficit from earlier. He probably still has quite the lead on Butter at this point. The slight route difference that Butter did. Butter. Times. I feel like Copitz is going to get a sub to 13 slide this one, although now I'm starting to question that. Well, at least he beat his old slide time. Perfect. So, Copitz is going to be going into Mario Cam here because that just reduces lag. Because they're both playing on N64, you're going to be seeing them do a lot of lag reduction shots. Seem like much they do add up over the course of the run. Nice. Getting those 2 red points is very difficult because once you start flying downwards, you start gaining a lot more speed, and it's really, really hard to control Mario when he has that much speed. And Butter is now done with lumps. Copitz just did the tech skip where reason Nintendo thought it would be a good idea to allow you to jump off the Switch, so why not just do that into the start and skip the link steps. Now Copitz is heading off to Bowser in the Dark World, one of the more movement-intensive stages. I've been seeing a lot of beginning runners grind this star quite a bit. Stage to work on if you're really trying to work on movement.
Yeah, it's looking like Butterlord has a lot of catching up to do right now, so maybe hoping for a death in Dark World from Copitz would probably even up the match.
A death at the end of Dark World Reds can very easily cost up to kind of how far you're going. Right now, Copitz seems to be playing pretty solidly. I mean, seeing it here, it's like, wow, not even going for the poverty shake. What a legend! Oh, nice. I don't understand why he crouched there, but I mean, he playing it safe without a missed input. Did those 2 long jumps there. I do not blame him for doing that one bit. Once that platform's really far away, doing a jump kick is basically asking for it. But he got a normal cycle, which is alright. Butter can save a few seconds if he happens to get the Shigeru cycle when standing over the not RTA Bible. What? The Shunima cycle? I don't know how to pronounce that.
It'll be interesting to see if Copitz goes for the more difficult strats in basement, such as like Pillarless and Lava Boost, or if he's going to play it
tells
safe.
me he's going to. I don't know why. Because he's been... I mean... you definitely see from players with like who have like a 53.
I wouldn't count Butterlord out yet though. He's a legend of this game. He is known to be vastly superior in the Super Mario 64 community.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it's so easy to gain or lose time in this game. Like, just from sheer movement, it's so easy. So here, both of these players seem about pretty similar in terms of movement, but consistency, like, I don't know what either of the two have to bring to the table for consistency, but sketchy thing right there. I hope it's doing Island Hop because Mario's H speed, or horizontal speed, does factor into how high he can fly. Oh, nice double first key by Butter there, but unfortunately it didn't quite pay off for him.
Oh no. Just triple. Yeah. There we go.
That slope is actually what's classified as a slippery slope, which means that you can't really jump kick up it. You kick trick up it.
So Copitz entering Cuckoo Mountain, which is considered to be one of the easier stages.
Hashtag CCM is free.
However, it's very easy to... if you mess up the 100 coin, it's definitely a rip run.
Alright, so Copitz just did that backflip wall kick strat. You have to be facing a wall in order to backflip, unlike every other 3D Mario game. I don't know if either of these runners do CCM17. It looks like Copitz does CCM18 because he's doing slide now. CCM17? I don't remember. Yeah, why ride the entire slide when you can just fall?
We will find out. Because I don't know.
If anybody's wondering, there's 100 coin star with the penguin race or with the slide star, and then just do an additional star in a later course. Do an extra pillarless and shifting sandland, which you only really want to do if you're going for a top time. The Toxic Maze Star and Hazy Maze Cave. A coin star and Tiny Huge Island. It looks like Copitz is just going to do it with the Penguin Race, which I don't blame him. This is a pretty common route to choose. I myself still happen to use this route. Potter is just about to enter CCM. Oh, Copitz is getting that save coin. I do not blame him one bit. And in no reset like this, you want to take precautions whenever you can in that case. I mean, you want to get all the times that you can.
I disagree. I think he should have not got the coin.
Well, I mean, that might be what you
race at the end of the day, so...
I mean, sometimes... Earlier, consistency is key in a race like this, in a race set. I mean...
But speed is also key.
Well, obviously, yes. You want to be consistently fast. Also going to be opting to do CCM8. And Copitz had to skip those 3 coins. I'm honestly a bit surprised that he just waited until the last 3 to skip them. Oh, no! That is just terrible.
That's rough. But
okay,
that gives
so
Butterlord a huge opportunity.
Yeah, he launched him a little early there, and therefore the penguin kind of pushed him off the slide. That's another one of those so easy to make mistakes. All it takes is just not waiting long enough. We'll definitely give Butter a chance to gain some time, because all Copitz really has to do is he just has to do the penguin race all over again, so that's why.
Yeah, I think getting that extra red coin actually makes that more likely to happen at the end, so...
But either way, you're going to spawn the star as your 100th coin. It's really just a matter of timing. But hey, at least Copitz is going to get an extra life out of this. that life back, I mean. And he got 71 coins, that's actually a good thing. If he got anything less than that, the coin counter would count up a lot slower. When you have 71 coins or more, it counts up, the coin counter will count up by 1 every single frame. If it's less than that, it's every other frame. Smart to I don't know if Copitz knew that, but that's actually a smart thing to keep track of. Okay, it looks like Butter is opting to not do the safe coin, so he's putting himself at the risk. Get some coins. Copitz, I think, still has a lead here. It's not as big as it was before, so this is definitely going to cause a decrease in the gap. And Butter just missed 1 coin on the slide, which means he can't miss anymore at this point. Thankfully, he got past all the hard parts, so provided he doesn't mess up here, he should be in the clear. Copitz is now done with Cool Mountain. I'd have to say a good 20 seconds off, maybe? If he makes the same mistake that Copitz does. Alright, he's waiting for the penguin. Smart choice. Copitz is doing. Now Copitz is going to be getting a couple of stars from Big Boo's taunt. Let's see how this goes. Alright, opting to do the balcony star first, and being superior, he's choosing like Cam. I don't know, Joel, when you were running this game, did you prefer like Cam or Mario Cam for a Big Boo's balcony? I prefer like Cam.
Mario.
I don't think it matters in terms of speed, it really just kind of comes down to preference. Butter's gonna opt to do Secret of the Haunted Books first, where you don't even have to do the puzzle. You can just jump straight to the star. No one needs to waste their time doing an easy puzzle. Funnily enough, in the DS version, they actually put glass there so that you couldn't do that. Oh, it's opting to do the old school little wall there. And now Copitz is going to be heading to the basement. He still has quite a bit of a lead here, so he really does have the option to kind of make choices on what strats he's going to want to go for. Because like Jolt said earlier, it's going to be interesting to see what strats Copitz is going to want to go for in basement. Either play it risky, or he can play it pretty conservatively. And I don't know if he knows if he's in the lead, but if he is, he might want to make the choice to play it a little bit safe and go for strats that will just that he knows he can get with almost 100% consistency. Anyways, he just got that mid grab, which is had trouble catching that only as a kid. Well, there you go. And so we'll see if he's going to attempt to colorless here. I have a feeling he will. Oh, he's going for it. Like a bunch of different glitches. It combines the bloated bob-omb mechanics I talked earlier and what's known as the hands-free glitch. Bob-omb and then landing on the slow up. He got the bob-omb into the state he's in now, where he's essentially to carry the bob-omb, but the game doesn't consider him carrying it, so that's how he was able to do double jumps and ground pounds. And since the bob-omb's still pushing him, he can put through the pyramid like that. Butter, I'm pretty sure goes for the same thing. Right, and they oh no. That kind of sucked too, because he was able to get the big bomb size first try. Sizes that the bob-omb can... 4 sizes the bob-omb can have once it starts floating before it explodes, and you want to grab it on either the last 2 frames, optimally the last frame. So sometimes timing that can be really fickle. And Butter opting to get the back up, which is, I question it a little bit, but you know, it's his choice. He's gonna get that's another go. He gets the big bomb again, he gets into the hands-free state. Oh, this is gonna be interesting. Up there, but he was able to recover it and got those. Siege Jolt has left. I am not entirely sure why, but handle it for now. Copitz is going to leave the lava land where you use the lava quite a bit in this stage. Around while you're in midair. I recall that what he just tried there is a new optimization. Didn't quite pay off, unfortunately. I think that's a smart decision to hold back there. If you ledge grab on one of those platforms, it's right into the lava. Gonna be opting to do the red hot log rolling star here. Because in this game you can do the stars in separate orders, it's sometimes gonna be kinda hard to tell who has the lead for a while. But their routes are probably going to be synced up after each stage. Off the back left. But he was going for the ground pound there. All it takes is doing the inputs in the wrong order. Mess yourself up. He attempting lava boost here. Yeah, he's going to go for the triple jump method again. Blame him. The long jump method is incredibly risky to go for in runs. Alright. You can pretty much just guarantee that you're going to get it with the triple jump. Copitz is going to do more of the same. Oh, he's going for the long jump. Not expecting that. Now off to do the elevator star as a backup. So right now I can see that Butter's starting to gain a bit of a time on Copitz, so this is starting to become a pretty exciting race. Taking advantage of the death that Copitz had in CCM 100. Lava boost again. Butter is doing probably one of the easier red coin stars in a 7 star. Makes it this time. That is pretty precise to make with the long jump. You have to hit a pretty specific part of the lava in order to have a chance of and having the right position to be able to make it up at the end. But you can't save a couple of seconds over doing the triple jump. Butter's going to be handling the bully stars. He's going to do the bullies first, and Copitz is just going to fly over this fence because no one wants to take the log. Oh, let's see how this goes. I think Butter still has a little bit of a lead on Butter. I think Copitz still has to be a lead on Butter here. For a sec. Probably around, I'd say probably 15 to 20 seconds. Now Butter is done with... No, messing up. Copitz is done with LL, and Butter is going to be almost finished as well. Now Copitz is heading to one of the more entertaining stages in SM64 speedruns, and that's Hazy Maze Cave. And the developers just didn't put that many ceilings in Hazy Maze Cave, so there's a lot of instances where you can just kind of jump over walls. Copitz is now going to be attempting the box jump here, which is... Oh, he's going to be doing this star first. I think he did that because he kind of messed up the setup for the box jump. That's a pretty safe... You know, sometimes if you mess up the setup, it's better to just kind of do a backup for it. Wow, I don't think... Oh, he broke the box. That's another pretty easy thing to do. If you're just in the wrong position, you mess up the setup. Star order. I don't see a whole lot of runners who watch for Rolling Rocks second. Butter's going to give this another shot, and there you go. Ball of the wall, and conveniently, you're right above where the star platform is, so why the heck not? Getting down to the cavern is useful in speedruns. Speaking of jumping over walls, Copitz is doing it again here, but he's also going to be falling onto the switch with enough downwards momentum so that on the switch before it considers him in the water. I don't exactly know how that works. You'd have to ask someone who's just a tiny bit more knowledgeable in SM64 than I am. But so Butter unfortunately messed up the triple jump, so he might still be able to save it with that. I'm not sure. There's a backup where you just double jump and kick at that wall. It looks like Copitz is going to opt to do a different method of getting down to the elevator there. Opt to do a different wall kick here. That strat's pretty safe and honestly doesn't lose too much time to... You see runners do different strats here, and it's been interesting to see who puts that on top. Like, Copitz is not going to opt to do Toxic Maze. Are you sure if he does TTC 100s? Pretty sure Butter does, though. Now they're both going to be heading off to Dire Docks after Butter gets probably one of the hardest stars in the run. All you have to do is talk to Toad. It's Dire Docks is a pretty, slow and steady level. It does take a little bit of work to get good at optimized swimming, however. It requires pressing A in a rhythm. You would think it'd be optimal to just kind of, tap. But right now, Copitz is probably paying very close attention to his game audio. He has to be listening for Mario to be continuously making this noise, but that's how he'll know if he's swimming optimally. That's how you know if he has the right rhythm. Taking it pretty tightly with these chests. I mean, I don't usually see runners take the chests this tightly. Because basically, all you have to do is, as long as Mario's facing in the direction of what direction you should be facing to open the chest, you can touch literally any part of it. Another stage where lag reduction is going to be a huge factor. In this next star, you're going to be seeing both runners as they enter the tunnel. They're going to point the camera to the left. Because of this, that they're going to be able to reduce some lag from the submarine star. This next room lags the game terribly if you're playing on the Nintendo 64. There's ways to mitigate most of that. Yeah, it's swimming. Not really a whole lot of interesting stuff happening. Pretty interesting once we get to the next star. Once we get to the next stage, actually. Bowser in the Fire Sea. It's going to be interesting to see how both runners turn out. Anti-Star, straightforward. As long as neither of them miss the first two rings, they should be safe from getting trolled by the Manta's wonky physics of the Manta rings. So I kind of want to explain the next stage. The next stage is Bowser in the Fire Sea. The elevators midway through the stage work on specific cycles. Either of these runners go for this, but there's an optimal cycle where you can perform a lava boost onto those elevators, and that actually saves quite a bit of time because then you can climb up the elevator quicker, but you pretty much need to have flawless movement. So let's see what... Okay, well, meanwhile, let's see if Butter gets antud. Ooh. A bit of trouble making a fast cycle here. Opting to take some safe movement. And paying the price for it. Yeah, it's very easy. Once one thing goes wrong in Fire Sea, a lot of things are basically bound to go wrong. This fast cycle here, which means Butter might have a chance to gain some more time on him. See what Butter's going to... because of this frame dropping, I'm not quite sure if Butter's made any notable mistakes so far. Doesn't look like he has. Copitz is making cycle. This is probably the average cycle you'll make. Okay, so it looks like Butter choked. Butter was on pace for boost LEC, definitely choked it. Oh. Another cycle, so now Butter's going to have the opportunity to get more time on him. Copitz here. Now Butter's also going to have the opportunity to do that little long jump double wall kick there, which I've always thought was pretty cool. That wall kick is very hard to do optimally. You need a very precise angle to make it up there without a ledge grab. Having a pretty lackluster fire seas, but I mean, it's a race. Anything can really happen here. Gained a lot of time on Copitz from that. Starting to close that gap just a little bit. So this throw is definitely the worst one to miss. But the thing is, if you miss that throw, when Bowser does that attack where he kind of tilts the stage, you actually can't grab his tail. Runners missed the throw. Copitz didn't. Let's see if Butter does. He barely makes it. Do that attack again once he jumps back on, and that wastes a lot of time. Now they're both done with the downstairs and / lobby portion of the game. They're going to be heading upstairs. This is generally the faster part of 70-star runs, and this is also where the run really starts to kick in. It really starts to pick up the pace here. I think both of these runners do pretty basic wet dry roll strats. Didn't go for anything crazy like the triple jump wall kicks. I believe they're... Ooh, Copitz is doing the elevator star first. Let's see what he has to bring. Normally when you do the elevator star first, that's a sign that you go for TJ wall kick, but... Strat. Definitely a common choice to make, to just stick with what's almost 100% guaranteed. Now Butter's doing 100 coins. This they make a bit of a difference between the two runners in terms of what RNG they get. If they get decent RNG, the coins will not fly everywhere, but since you break a lot of 10 coin boxes and you, in general, there's a few enemies you kill here and there, you can really, the coins can either stay really close together or really spread out. And that amp there, that amp is very, very hard to avoid. This is actually one of the cooler 100 point stars in my opinion when you do it with the secrets. A lot of the movement is... It just feels really nice to execute all the movement optimally. Ow. Copitz. Went well for Butter, so... I was able to do pretty much the same thing. It's interesting scooter RNG there. I'm surprised he didn't kill the scooter first, and now he's having trouble killing the scooter in general. That's a bit of a problem. There's still enough coins in the level for that to not really be an issue. We have 2 other boxes you can get. That is a very, very unfortunate thing to happen. Missing a blue coin in any 100 coin star, you get a lot of issues. Also, Butter's not going to be attempting either their wall hits. So. There's this 3 coin box here. There's another one right next to where the secret star is. So that's not it's not a huge issue, but he's just going to have to go out of his way a little bit. Yeah, this is just going to give another opportunity for Butter to close the gap even more. Now Copitz is just 1 coin short, and there's 3 in the box up ahead. So, it didn't completely mess him up. If he had missed 2 blue coins, that would have been a problem. Just 1. Now Butter's doing the shocking airlift star. for some stupid reason, Nintendo thought it would be smart to just place a teleporter right next to where the star is. For ways you can skip the airlifts for that star, it's awesome. I believe Butter is going to be doing his final star as Copitz is going to do shocking airlifts. I think Butter actually is able to pull ahead of Copitz now just because of that blue coin miss. Like I said, it's easy to gain or lose time in this game. So this race is still far from over out of this yet. Like, they're basically... Like, the difference is now shortened to 5 seconds ahead. But this race just got pretty exciting, and if it stays this close, or if Butter's just going to keep gaining more time, or if Copitz is going to start... Or if this Copitz is going to start kicking in some consistency. Both runners on the... another really movement-intensive star. Really satisfying to pull off optimally. Both of them having pretty decent PHI secrets, although this final jump at the end can Butter made it, and Copitz made it as well. Clean PHI secrets from both of them. That clip is especially hard to figure out. You have to have basically a direct angle when flipping through that steep floor, and you have to have a really good speed with the dive roll out in order to get through that floor. Another difference in Star Wars, Butter's opting to do the easy Piranha Plant star first, while Copitz doing the tip top of the huge island. Clean execution from both runners once again. Stars, so I can't really get a whole lot on that matter. Butter actually opting to do a bit more optimal version of the THI entrance, although I'm not sure if Copitz just kind of messed up his version, or if he just does something a little bit differently. I don't know. The time that Butter fades out. Unfortunately, approximately a 3-second difference between the two runners right now. This race is definitely pretty much unclear who's going to win at this point. If both of the runners keep their consistency up, this could very well be in. It could very well come down to tipping. Now we have both runners going into Tall Mountain. Stages in 70 star. It's very easy to accidentally make a pretty big mistake or die here. Right now they're going to be attempting a trick called Mountain Clip, so that's another instance of flipping through a steep floor with a good angle and position. And then they're doing that water up warp. When Mario enters a body of water from the side or the bottom, he's programmed to automatically appear at the water on the next frame. Copitz falling a little bit short on that long jump. Butter was actually opted to do the log wall kicks to save an additional second, which is a bit riskier. Sometimes you can just fall a little bit short of the log, and sometimes you're just unable to make the jump. And there's also a lot of invisible walls around there. Ooh. Yeah, that... Mario tried to ledge grab that area, but because that slope is very steep, it's not really possible to ledge grab. So he just drops off immediately. So he opted to do the box jump stars as backup. Meanwhile, Copitz opted to do the red coin stars as backup. So hopefully Copitz both the runners are making it up alright, it looks like. So to explain what I was saying earlier, invisible walls, they're actually ceiling hitboxes or out of bounds. I can't really tell which one. I'm pretty sure they're ceilings. They're ceilings. Which that's far too confusing to go into a whole lot of detail about, but basically they're a type of wall that Mario can't wall kick off of. So they're not really walls. Basically cause you to fall straight down. Oh yeah, Copitz just hit one of them right there. That he probably could have been able to use that Fly Guy's twirl to go all the way over to that platform, which would have been a pretty decent backup. Gets it up alright though. Yeah. If you really break open this level for all sorts of stars you can add to the run. Also, you can just climb up the mountain so quickly. Or look pathetic. Ever played this game casually? Butter is going to be doing the... Except we're not actually going to go in the slide, because who needs to do that when it's so easy to just jump to the star and go? Useless. Pretty common choice. A race setting going for Breezes is not always a smart option. So Copitz lost a little bit of time to Butter on that stage, but like, I don't know, roughly a 15-second gap between the two runners. So this could definitely still go any direction, anytime. Butter is in one of the most fast-paced stages in this game by far, Snowman's Land. As you can see, he just climbed up the snowman's head as if it were nothing. Most of the stars that you see done here take... Like, the 5 stars we do here take, like, around 15 seconds or less. Unfortunately, Copitz missing that wall kick. Aims to pull off a wall kick in SM64. And so sometimes you can just hit the right frame, but unfortunately you were just kind of barely outside of that range. Butter, I think, messed up some movement there, so he's going to opt to do a bit of a safer strat to climb over this little slope here. That's actually the old method of doing that. Now they're both doing the red coin star. Self-explanatory, just kind of right on the shell. There's a lot of techniques that go into making sure you maintain some speed. You kind of have to ride on the ground for a little while, either on a flat surface or downhill for a little bit to actually build up some speed. Once you start jumping, you're able to gain even more speed. So. Now Butter's gonna thing again. And this is kind of the newer-ish strat. That speed kick into a triple jump to get over that slope. I think that saves around a second if you've done optimally, but for the Whirl from the Freezing Pond star, it's a little harder because you have to ground pound right next to the box in order for it to save time. Difficult to time. And once again, Butter's able to gain just a little bit of time on Copitz in that stage, but once again, this race is not over yet because we're coming up on the tip-top below the castle, which contains Rainbow Ride, Tick-Tock Clock, and Bowser in the Sky, which are, at the end of a run, 3 vault stages. It's going to be kind of interesting to see who gets screwed over the most by Tippy. It looks like both of them are going to be doing Tick-Tock Clock 100 coins, so... This race was pretty easy to tell who was ahead and who wasn't. You're going to be heading to Rainbow Ride first. I believe the first star Butter is going to attempt is something called... he's going to attempt a trick called, like, Key to Bounce. There's a slope that you normally can't really reach from below, but if you triple jump, wall kick off of it, and ooh. Unfortunately, he there, and then I believe he got cornered, which can result in a wallless bonk. And therefore, you just kind of have no choice but to accept the fall. Now, oh, and Copitz now getting ahead of Butter. Yes. Oh, I spoke too soon. Sorry, jinxed it. Like I said, anyone up at any time. Alright, so now Butter's gonna get it. Now he's gonna attempt this like Kichi bounce. If you triple jump wall kick off of this little slant here and then bounce off like Kichi, you can land on the slope and get to this pole. Other pole to reach the platforms at the end of the that you would normally reach at the end of this long and winding carpet ride. And you basically skip the need to have to use those carpets entirely. Saves, it saves probably in the minutes range. If I had to guess, at least a minute and a half. I'm personally interested in seeing who goes for the harder strats on tricky triangles. If first Butter's gonna be something, probably reds. Alright, looks like reds. Wow, Copitz is gonna be doing swinging in the. This star actually has some pretty simple movements, although sometimes that swing side flip right there can mess you up and try to side flip at the wrong time because you can sometimes get affected by the slope. Butter having a pretty clean res from what I could tell. I think Butter's just going to be playing it pretty okay, if you attack it the way they're doing it, which is without going into Mario Cam, I do a Mario Cam setup that makes it basically free, but no one else does it for some reason. You can just get completely screwed over by the rotating platform. Butter made it that time. So already Tippy's a wild ride for both of these runners right now. I think at this point, because they both have different stars, because I think Copitz has the shorter star left. I think Butter might still have a little bit of a Stakes definitely gave Copitz a chance to catch up here. Right, doing that dive roll out is actually pretty risky. Thankfully he made it without too much of an issue. And we're back to being around 2 to 3 seconds apart. Really going to come down to the end of this run here. Butter is opting to do Toad before TTC. You can do Toad after TTC, and personally I think it makes it easier to make the clock cycle so that the minute hand ends up on the 12 when you enter. Because it's actually faster to do a star with time stopped. Hands on the 12, then all the moving parts of the clock are stopped. If you enter on the 6, it's random. 3, it's slow. 9, it's fast. We're only going to be entering on the 12 and the 9 for the sake of speedrunning. Copitz is actually opting to do time jumps on moving bars first. Very interesting choice. I don't see a whole lot of runners do that. He's going to be doing the 100-coin star here. Speaking of the 100-coin star, that's what Butter's doing right now, which is one of the most technical stars in the entire game. It takes a lot of skill to be able to pull off the star off. I mean, there's a lot of very tight jumps, and sometimes messing them up can cause you to fall all the way down or even die. Executing the star is very clean so far. You got past most of the hard parts. Copitz, meanwhile, is opting to not do the triple jump wall kicks you would normally go for at the start of the star that most top runners go for. So it looks like Butter actually missed a coin somewhere. I couldn't exactly tell when. Yeah, that's just this is another star where RNG can be a huge factor just because of the amount of 10-coin boxes you break. Personally, I don't like doing those strats on time moving just because of that pendulum at the starting you need to get right. Ooh, almost was able to back it up there. You can back it up from there, but with the timing that those spinning, well, that the spinning things are on, pretty tight. Especially on the fast setting. The Butter is actually going to get an opportunity to save some time on Copitz. Unfortunately, he didn't quite execute it properly. He was a little low from what I could tell. Yeah, you can triple jump wall kick onto those spinners and then execute another triple jump to climb them up now. You do disable a tiny amount of time on this stage. Now Copitz is going to do the 100-coin star. Let's see how this goes for him. opting to do what Cheese does and grab that extra red coin, so just kind of a safe thing you can do. So now he's not going to have to worry too much about coin RNG from the other coin boxes. Going to be able to basically plow through it with almost 100% certainty. Now Butter just got that triple jump wall kick shot I was talking about. Really weird. Have to be pretty far left in order for that to work. Large wall kick, you might think. Sure. A bit of an interesting choice. So I won't blame you for it. Interestingly, Get a Hand is actually the star that triple jump wall kick saves the most time on, because you get to do, with the way the hand cycles work, you actually get to do with those long jumps across the hand. Man, it likes to be. I'm pretty sure you might be able to hear that, so sorry. I can't do anything about it. I think Butter might still have a little bit of a lead here. I'm not quite sure what stars Copitz has left. I think all Butter has left is the red coin star. I think if... I'm entirely sure. He'll be able to get a 53. I think you can definitely get a 54, but Copitz... Both runners appear to definitely be on 4 base. I think Butter's more likely to be on 54. Yeah, definitely. Not bad, not bad, I'll say that much. So, Butter has a pretty significant lead over Copitz at this point, but it's not over yet because in Bowser in the Sky, not only are there a lot of stuff, but there's also Bowser throws, which can cost up to around, I think, 12 seconds per missed throw. Really make a difference. It's very hard to get 3 for 3 Bowser throws. Now Butter's going up those stairs like they're nothing. Those stairs are pretty... Going upstairs is actually a bit more finicky than you might think. It's very easy to have them eat your thumbs. Butter opting to not turn the camera at the start. Interesting choice. The camera for that little triple jump dive there. I think Copitz attacks that beginning a bit more aggressively than Butter does. He probably doesn't hear a version of that triple jump dive. Right, they both do it pretty similar. Butter opting to not do the TJ wall kick. I'm actually surprised. For basically, once you reach those pyramids, there's an arch triple jump wall kick you can do off one of the pyramids that you can arch wall kick after that and basically come up. He's gonna go for it. Non-moving left side, this is by far the easiest one. On strat, which I don't know what exactly that does to make it easier, but it works. The left or the right side. The left side is much, much safer. But the right side can be faster by a few seconds. Butter making the first throw and Copitz entering the pipe. Any missed throws at this point are going to make this win. Yikes. That's one missed throw. And that's one missed throw for Copitz as well. Second throw. He makes his third throw, he basically has the race in the bag. And okay, Butter's winning this race. That was a very, very, very tight race. But considering that by around a minute at the start from his bombs, and then he was able to gain that much time on Copitz. That is very impressive. 54 for 26. Looks like Copitz is going to finish roughly 20 seconds behind. Very, very good race. GG to both runners. Up and finished relatively closely in the end. Only a 17-second difference, it looks like. It's insane, honestly. Hello, Copitz.
Oh man, I didn't even know. I didn't know that it was so close. I didn't realize
that was a really good race.
Yeah, it was close. I see that.
Yeah, so I think you went kind of back and forth with Butter several times especially during like Rainbow Ride there.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I wasn't looking. I just had the SRL chat open, and then right after TTC, I realized that he wasn't done, and I was like, oh man, this could be close. And then my heart started pounding. Like, I was like, I don't know, maybe we'll see what happens. And I did miss a throw, but I don't think that would have made the difference.
It looked like. Yeah, it looked like it probably would have finished thinner. It would have been a lot more closer, though, definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Butter, what about you? Were you paying any attention to Copitz's performance, or were you just kind of focusing on your own gameplay and just?
I closed out everything. I needed to focus up after that Wumps.
Yeah, I could tell you were gaining a lot of time on Copitz throughout the entire run, especially Copitz, but that death in CCM 100 definitely cost you quite a bit.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh, congrats, Butter. By the way, GG.
Yeah, GG to both of you.
Yeah, I didn't know it was close at all. Like, I thought it was done for, but then I started playing not terrible. I guess.
I thought I was.
I had literally like an 8 something Womps 9.
Did you? What happened?
I got like third try Owlus, I think, and then I like took like 2 hours doing 100 coin because the blue coin, but like the spinning thing, it like went away, so then I didn't make it. Like, it was so unlucky.
Yeah, I didn't even go for Owlus. I was like, and then you could probably tell I don't really remember how to do it with the owl.
And while we're on the subject of 100 coins in Wet Dry World, missing that blue coin, that was a pretty smart decision to get those backup boxes.
Yeah,
not a whole lot of runners didn't know what to do in that situation, so props to you on that one.
Oh, thanks. I used to mess that up all the time, so I was happy I knew what to do there. What frustrates me is that the death on CCM 100 coin, I was actually thinking, because I got the extra coin, I was like, all right, I gotta, I'll probably be faster than a penguin here because I'm not really, slowing down to grab coins, so I need to wait here for a second before I long jump to the stars. So I did that, and I didn't wait long enough.
Yeah, it's that you were barely too early though. So.
Yeah, it was close.
Waited just a couple more frames, so it definitely would have been good.
Right.
But you were actually going back and forth in Rainbow Ride, like with Butter having those small little deaths at the start. Copitz, you were actually ahead for like a split second.
Yeah, on the I don't know what that choice was on in Rainbow Ride Reds. I don't know why I decided to just like give up on going back and retrying, because I shouldn't do the triple jump wall kick there in the first place. But I don't know why I didn't.
I think I might have been focusing on Butter while you were doing Rainbow Ride Reds. What happened?
I think I like ledge. So I do that triple jump wall kick
instead of the arch wall kick.
Yeah,
I think I know.
Yeah, I know it. It's pretty. I know I shouldn't do that. It's pretty noob strat. But what I did was I like gave up on going back and trying it again. I don't know why. After I ledge grabbed, and I just like went inside of the coin maze, and then I would like really slowly made my way up to the coins. It was awful. That if I hadn't have made that mistake, that might have cost it too. I'm not sure.
Butter, I've been talking to you much. How do you've been doing a lot of Paper Mario recently? How do you feel about your performance in this race, considering you haven't done a whole lot of SM64 recently? How do you think you really did? I mean, after Womps, you were able to start playing a lot more consistently.
I played a lot worse than I expected, but I mean, I guess at the same time though, with not playing, I shouldn't have my hopes too high for myself.
Like, what were you expecting for yourself going into this race?
I was expecting not an 8 minutes swamp 9. That's for sure.
I mean, that was really the only real deterrent of your run, I guess, aside from the deaths in Rainbow Ride. I mean, you played pretty solidly otherwise.
Yeah, I think I died like 3 times to the triple jump at the beginning of Rainbow Ride.
This is why everyone needs to do the Mario Cam setup that I do, because it's literally free.
Maybe I should. I died once there. Although I think it was just because I didn't have enough speed, or I wasn't high enough on that wall kick for some reason. Did you de-rust at all today, Butter?
Yeah, I was trying to a little bit before I started.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I practiced pretty much the whole day.
I certainly needed it. I'm just glad, because every other race I got destroyed by Pillarless, and I at least got it second try this time.
Yeah.
That was some good stuff. Really, the only real issue that happened with Pillarless is that you turned around.
Yeah, which is
that's another one of those easy mistakes to make.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate mistake.
GG to both of you, I guess. I don't really have anything else to say. I mean, that was just a good race overall. I mean, finishing 17 seconds apart.
Yeah, it's 2 close races today. Shai's and Heisenberger's race is also very close.
How close was that one?
I know it came down to throws.
It was like 40 seconds, I think.
Not bad.
I mean, all I have to say is, it's a little disappointing to think back on all the small mistakes, or all the mistakes that if I hadn't, I missed like a couple cycles on Fire Sea, like if I hadn't done that, or just a whole bunch of stuff I can think of that just like if I hadn't done that one thing, I would have pulled it off. But you know what? What's done is done, and it was a good race, and I'm just happy about that.
Yeah, I mean, that's just the nature of Super Mario 64. I mean, you think you're going to be able to do just fine, and then all of a sudden you mess up an input, and there goes 15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's really just thinking back on those. All right, well, GG.
GG.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Both of you, and thank you for having me on for commentary. Good job. And good job to both of you for finishing the race. I believe, Butter, you're going to be moving on. I'm not sure who you're going to be up against.
I know it can either be Para or I forget who the other person is.
Yeah.
Probably check, but CBA, TBH. I'm gonna hop out of here.
All right.